Bosnia, the war, and the warning. President Clinton talks again about the possible use of military force.
The president makes a new promise: health care coverage for nearly every American in 3 years.
And Eye on America. Tonight, a jury on trial. This man says he was convicted by fear, not facts.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. The Clinton administration is showing its anger and frustration over the breakdown of the Bosnian peace talks. Secretary of State Warren Christopher placed the blame today on the Serbs and the Croats. And President Clinton issued a familiar warning. National security correspondent David Martin has our report.
President Clinton reacted to the collapse of Bosnian peace talks by reviving the threat of U.S. and allied airstrikes if the ethnic cleansing of Muslims resumes.
If, while the talks are in abeyance, there is abuse by those who would seek to interfere with the humanitarian aid, attack the protected areas, and resume the sustained shelling of Sarajevo, for example, then first I would remind you that the NATO military option is very much alive.
The talks in Geneva broke down yesterday after the Bosnian Muslims refused to sign a treaty unless the Serbs and Croats gave them more land. The Muslims are demanding access to the sea and an expansion of one of their enclaves. And today, Secretary of State Christopher took their side.
We think that the Serbs and their Croatians should show greater flexibility in working to consider and achieve the adjustments that the Bosnian government has asked for in order to find a more equitable settlement.
Christopher said the same thing in strong diplomatic notes to Serbian President Milosevic and Croatian President Tudjman. Notes which repeated the threat of airstrikes if Sarajevo or other so-called safe areas once again come under siege. For the moment, at least, officials say conditions in Sarajevo have improved with the arrival of relief supplies and the restoration of at least some electrical power. But conditions will probably get worse once the weather turns cold, which is one reason the U.S. is pressing hard for an agreement now.
With the winter coming on, it would be especially tragic if they don't grasp the opportunity to obtain the settlement that seems to be within reach.
Right now, the threat of airstrikes is only talk, and the Clinton administration is clearly hoping that's all it will take to force a settlement. The dispute that caused the peace talks to break down involves only 4% of Bosnian territory. David Martin, CBS News, the State Department.
Breakthrough peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians continue to make progress. Both Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, the PLO, said today they may officially recognize each other in just a matter of days. And each side was out today trying to win support, as correspondent Bob Simon reports from Tel Aviv.
The road to peace leads through bad lands in this part of the world. An Israeli soldier became the first casualty of the new initiative this afternoon. He was shot dead by Palestinians near the West Bank town of Hebron. The army arrested some suspects. The killers got away. On another stretch of the road, down the Jordan Valley near Jericho, Israeli settlers stopped traffic for a while. It was their way of saying they don't want Yasser Arafat for a neighbor. These are the Jews who live in the area, which is due to be governed by Palestinians within the next few months. Prime Minister Rabin hit the streets of Tel Aviv today, garnering support for his tough road ahead.